So hello, hi, namaskar everyone. Just give me a quick response. Am I clearly visible and audible to all the participants? Let's get started with our maths discussion. In this session, we'll make you revise the most important questions for your JEE April attempt. We'll be solving a lot of questions, as many questions as we can, and each question in a detailed format so that you not just look at the question, you see its solution and you learn the concept so that it definitely adds some value to your learnings and you apply it and gain something decently out of your learning or preparation. So shall we get started with this session here, students? I hope you all can hear me properly. We'll straight away get started with the first question for the day. Can you see it on the screen? So first of all, let's read the question. The question says that fr 0 to infinity be a twice differentiable function. Hello everyone. Hello, hi. Let me see the comments. Let me just readjust this comment section. Okay, no worries with that. Whichever is your priority, you can watch that and you can watch this session later. You can watch the chemistry session if you are in the flow of chemistry, or if you want to switch, if you want to watch chemistry later, you can do either way, whichever suits you, right? But we got to complete our stuff as well. So here it is said to be a twice differentiable function. So we are told that this here is a twice differential. This I'll use as per the need, and they have given it deliberately. And there they are telling you f3 is 18, f dash 3 is 0. Okay, f dash 3 is 4. I think this should be f double dash, so there is a small correction. It should have been f double dash, I think. Okay, then limit of this expression is equal to what? Great, perfect, brilliant. With that, let's get started here. What are we given when x approaches 1? We can clearly see f of 2 plus 1, that is f of 3. So f of 3 by f of 3, that is 1, and 1 raised to the power this, which is infinity. So 1 to the power infinity form. I hope you're understanding it. So this ln log at base e, I'll not bother much. I am talking about this particular part. So this particular part, if I wish to deal with, I hope you remember it, that whenever we deal with 1 to the power infinity form, its solution is always given by, I hope you remember. So these questions are important. Indeed, they are important, Kiran NB. Please don't forget that. These are some really crucial and important questions from two perspectives. One, to revise your concepts. Second, they give you the idea that what category or kind of questions you will be having in your April attempt. Okay, definitely, Larry Page, Sergey Brin. Okay, so getting back to the discussion we all were having, I'll first of all make you revise the concept. I hope you remember fx to the power g of x. Whenever we have something like this, and whenever it is of 1 to the power infinity form, then we always do one thing. What do? We do this f of x minus 1 times g of x, but this is raised as a power of e. Do you remember that? And the limit approaches same. That's good, Deepak. That's brilliant. So same logic I'll be applying here. So when this thing is raised to the power of e, which means ln e to the power that f of x minus 1 into g of x. So that ln e at base e will be 1. I hope you're understanding, and this is brought to the front. So our solution for this question is going to be really simple. I hope you are understanding. This ln they have given deliberately to simplify your solution. These questions are based on the basis of January session. Yes, they are. They indeed are. So here, if I get back to the discussion we were having here, this is your f of x, this is g of x. So what will I do? I'll do f of x minus 1 times g of x. Did you get that? So with that, I have limit x approaching 1, and then I'll have f of x minus 1. So this is f of 2 plus x divided by f of 3 minus 1 whole times g of x. What is g of x? That is given by 18 divided by x minus 1 whole square. That's brilliant. That's good. Okay, Sankesh Shar is already writing his answer. That's brilliant. You did not do the coordinate live. I totally understand this, Deepak Bharadwaj, and instead of that, we have brought these lives because we are thinking that with these lives, it will be more effective for you to revise them. But don't worry, here, let's focus on this session now. I hope from here, you got the idea that how is it needed to be, applied. Again, if you look at the same logic or the same thing, what are we facing here? This is going to be what? I hope this part is totally understandable. No, you don't have to, Larry Page. We'll do something about that. So here, if I simplify this, what will I have? F of 2 plus x minus f of 3. If I take the LCM here, so it will be minus f of 3 in the numerator divided by f of 3 here in the denominator. So when I look at this, when I apply this limit, again, what do I see? It is f of 3 minus f of 3. That is 0 by 0. So it is going to be a 0 by 0 form. And yes, these revision sessions will be happening every day. So that will be bringing some effective and efficient questions for you so that you revise the questions and you learn the concepts and you apply them in the April attempt directly. Yes, definitely, Larry Page. Don't worry about that. So when I move further from here, I hope you can see it very clearly. It is 0 by 0 form. L'Hopital rule will be applying. So differentiating the numerator, what do I get? I hope you're understanding. 18 stays outside as a constant. And there, when you differentiate f of 2 plus x, it is going to be f dash 2 plus x. I hope you're comfortably understanding this. Minus f of 3, that becomes 0. Divided by f of 3, that's a constant, and f of 3 we are given as 18, so we need not bother about that, times x minus 1 whole square. So differentiation of this is going to be 2 times x minus 1. And there again, when I use limit x approaches 1, I see there is again a problem. What is the problem? Because again, if I substitute x by 1, it will be f dash 3. This will be 0. So f dash 3 we are given as 0. So this is again a 0 by 0 form. And again, if I see the 0 by 0 form, I'll apply L'Hopital one more time. So if I apply L'Hopital one more time, I'll have this 18 getting cancelled by this 18. Correct me if I'm wrong in terms of calculation. So this f dash 2 plus x, when differentiated, becomes f double dash 2 plus x whole divided by 2 stays there like that only, and derivative of x minus 1 is 1. And there, limit x approaches 1 is getting applied. I hope you're understanding it. And f double dash 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1 is 3. So f double dash 3 we are given as 4. So your answer will be 4 by 2, and 4 by 2 we all know is 2. Option C needs to be marked. Definitely, Saqib. That's brilliant. Good to have you all. Moving ahead with the next question. What do we see? Have you all understood the previous question? This is one of the best questions of your today's discussion. If I could highlight its importance, one of the best questions from sequence and series using telescoping sum, the convergence and everything is there. A very good question from sequence and series. First of all, let's learn the tricky part here. Let me readjust this section. Which section, students? This part. an plus 1, which is given as half of an plus n square minus 2n minus 1 whole divided by n square plus n plus 1 whole square. I totally get that, Samaksh. For that, you need to consult Gaurav sir. He is the genius. And here, if I rearrange this, so an plus 1 is given by half of an plus this numerator n square minus 2n minus 1. If I could write it as 2n square minus n plus 1 square, then will you be okay with that? Now, why did you do that, sir? Have patience, you'll understand it. But first of all, give me a quick confirmation. When n square plus 1 plus 2n is subtracted from 2n square, so 2n square minus n square is n square, minus 2n and minus 1 you're left with. So this gives you the final result that this is how I can write it. Now with that, if I now simplify this, simplification means what? If I distribute this denominator to this and this individually, what do I get? A very important, a very crucial result, which is going to be n plus 1 is equal to half of an plus, pay attention to this, 2n square by n square times n plus 1 whole square. So n square and n square are cancelled. So this leaves you with 2 by n plus 1 whole square. Are you getting this, everyone, comfortably? Similarly, this n plus 1 whole square by this, so n plus 1 square, n plus 1 square are cancelled, and there you are left with what? 1 by n square. Everyone understanding this comfortably? Now, one thing I do, I take this 2 by n plus 1 square in this on this left hand side. So here I get n plus 1 minus 2 by n plus 1 whole square, understanding this comfortably. And on the right hand side, what am I now left with? Half an minus 1 by n square. So if I take half common, for a while, what am I now left with? Pay attention to this part. The question will be done with the next step. Here, if I take half common, I'll be left with an. And here, when I have taken half common, I'll be having 2 by n square. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hope you all have understood this particular part. Now, why am I saying that this is the deciding step in this particular question? Because pay attention to this. What are we asked? We are asked the summation. Modulus is there. We'll not bother about that. We'll talk about that later. N from 1 to infinity. So it could be an infinite summation, which means infinite GP could be there. Whenever n 1 to infinity is there, it could be infinite GP kind of a scenario. So an minus 2 by n square. An minus 2 by n square. Now pay attention to this part. If I for a while assume this an minus 2 by n square is bn, then I hope you are seeing that this is nothing but what? An plus 1 minus 2 by n plus 1 whole square. That is what? Bn plus 1. Are you not noticing it? So here I'll say if I am treating this as bn plus 1, bn plus 1 will be half of bn. Give me a quick update on this. How many of you understood this particular part, or shall I repeat this? All I'm saying is this will be bn plus 1, half of bn. And if bn plus 1, the next term is half of the previous term, I think I need not tell you what is it getting formed. It is clearly forming a GP. Now here you are having this sum, which is what? B1 plus B2 plus B3 until infinity. and this is clearly nothing but a GP. Which GP? Sir, the GP where if I ask you bn plus 1 by bn, that is half. So next term upon its preceding term is common ratio. So this is going to be the common ratio of that GP. Are you understanding that? So this is the GP, infinite term CP, infinite terms of a GP, a upon 1 minus r. I hope you remember that. So this summation will be given by first term. Summation will be given by first term. First term will be what? A1 minus 2 by 1, because n should be replaced by 1 for the first term. So first term will be B1. What is B1? B1 will be A1 minus 2 by 1, which is A1 minus 2. I hope you're understanding it. Now, great. Thank you so much for that compliment. Now, let's continue here. All I'm saying is that here, first term will be, if I am talking about this summation, let me denote this whole summation by S. So that summation S will be given by first term, which is A1 minus 2 by 1 whole divided by 1 minus r. What is the common ratio? So the common ratio is 1 by 2. Am I given A1? I think I'm given A1. What is A1? Sir, we are given A1 as 1. So we are given A1 as 1. So if I could substitute this A1 by 1, I think I do have the answer. But this need to be put inside a mod, because this summations non-negative value, or rather the numerical value or the absolute value we are supposed to take. So with that consideration, I think it is minus 1 upon minus 1 by 2. Do I need to tell you the answer? It should be 2. I hope you can see it very clearly. Was it a real difficult question? The only trick here was this. If you are able to catch this part, that this particular expression should be written like this, then your job is done. Everybody got that? Can I move ahead from here? Now, when we proceed further, let's solve the next question. What do we see in the next question? Pay attention to that. Here, we don't have the next question. Where is it? There it is. Amazing. Another very brilliant question, a good question. Although you can give it a hit and trial as well, you can try it with the options, because it is so lengthy in its calculation in nature that it will introduce its own calculation. But if you don't want to go with hit and trial, or let's say it's a numerical answer type question, integer type answer type question, in that case, you don't have any choice except for solving it. So let's solve this. First of all, the positive integer n. The positive integer n. So mind you, positive integer n is what they are telling you. Okay. For which the solutions of the equation. So this is going to be an equation. Solutions of this equation are two consecutive even integers. Now pay attention to this part, students. Can you help me with this? Is it not going to be a quadratic? Forget n. N could be anything, which is what we are supposed to decide, which we can, verify with the help of hit and trial as well. But let's say here, when this multiplies to this quadratic, the summation of all these quadratics will be quadratic. Are you getting that? So if you are seeing a quadratic, and I am seeing that this quadratic could be having two roots. So if this quadratic has two roots, what am I told? That they are two consecutive even integers. So if they are two consecutive even numbers, let's say 2 and 4. So 4 and 2, the difference is 2. So the difference between them is always going to be 2. And do we know the difference between roots of a quadratic is always given by under root d upon mod a? Do you all remember that? So with that, I'll proceed with this conclusion. But before that, let me simplify this. So if I wish to simplify this, can I do the generalization? Sir, x plus 0, x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 4. They have written you the rth term. They have given you the rth term. So if I wish to write the rth term, I'll be writing it as summation x plus 2r minus 2 times x plus 2r is equal to 8n by 3. Now, the catch is, what is r? Sir, r is starting with 0 or 1. I'll say 1, because when you put a 1 here, this is 2 minus 2, that's 0. This is 2. So x plus 0, x plus 2. So r should begin with 1. And where is it ending? Sir, r is ending at n, because when r is replaced by n, you get the last term. So this is going to be n. So the only task which you do, or which you need to do here, is that you need to simplify this. Now, when I try to simplify this, what do I get? I hope you are paying attention to this. Summation r is 1 to n is already there outside. Now, when I start simplifying this, one of the best methods is x into x. That's x square. You cannot do anything about that. Then x into 2r. So that is 2r x. I hope you are comfortably understanding that. Then 2r into x, that is again 2xr. So here this 2xr into xr makes it 4xr. Comfortably understanding this. Then this 2r into 2r, that is what? 4r square. Correct me if I'm wrong in terms of calculation. If I do make any mistake, please do write in the comment box. I'm trying to be very quick so that we save a lot of time. But in terms of calculation, if I do any error, please correct that. With this, I'll have minus 2x from here. And with this, I'll have minus 4r from here. Everybody with me on this? I hope there is no confusion on that. And that is given by 8n by 3. Everybody understanding this comfortably. Now let's talk about terms. Terms means there is a term in x square. There will be a term in x. So that is what? 4r minus 2. So if I write it or club it, so 4r minus 2 times x. So this will be 4r minus 2. So can I write it as 4r minus 2 times x? I hope you are comfortably understanding that. Nothing wrong with that. And here it is 4r square minus 4r. So can I write it like this? 4r square minus 4r, right? So this is going to be given like this. Now what I'll do is I'll simply distribute this summation, because we know with sigma you can distribute it with addition or over addition or subtraction, but not over multiplication or division. Do remember that. So summation x square, but here the variable is r. So summation x square means what? X square stays outside and 1 is getting added n times, so it will be nx square. Can I write that directly? Good evening everyone. So here I'll be writing it as nx square. I hope you're understanding it comfortably. Now with this conclusion, summation over 4r, pay attention to this. 4 stays outside. R means what? Sum of first n natural numbers, that is n plus 1 divided by 2. So it will be 4 n plus 1 divided by 2 minus summation over 2. So 2 stays outside as a constant, summation over 1. 1 is added n times, that is n. So it should be minus 2n whole times x. Are you understanding this comfortably, all the participants? Now here, when I talk about this, again simple. Summation, that 4 stays outside. Can I keep that outside? So when this 4 stays outside, all it is nothing but what? Summation r square. That is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square. Sum of squares of first and natural numbers. That is n plus 1, 2n plus 1 divided by 6. So that is given by n plus 1, 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6. Comfortably understanding this everyone? And here it is again 4. 4 is already taken outside, summation r. That is n plus 1 divided by 2. It is a minus sign here. So n plus 1 divided by 2. And this is equal to 8n by 3. That is written in the previous step. I hope you're comfortably understanding that. Now here, if I wish to simplify this, can I do it here only, so that we can save some space and we can, save some time as well, so that I don't have to switch between the slides. I hope you are okay with that. And so far I haven't made any mistake. That is what I'm hoping, so that here we when continue with this. On the right hand side it was 8n by 3. Now when I rearrange this, the term with nx square, that is nx square. Now let me just simplify this. So nx square is there like that only. Now can we simplify this? Sir, when you simplify this, this 4 gets cancelled by this 2, so it leaves you with 2, right? Or even when I simplify this inside 2n into n, that is how much? When I multiply this 2n with this n, it is 2n square. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2n with this 1 gives you plus 2n. I hope you're understanding it. Nothing wrong with that. And there is minus 2n. So this 2n, why don't we use n plus 1, 2n plus 1 by 6 for x square? No, Nilatrinath, that's x square. X square is not a variable. Summation is being applied on r. The variable is r. X is another variable. So x is treated as a constant for that summation. Did you get my point? Good, Sankeshar. That's brilliant. A good observation. Now here, when I go ahead with that, I hope you are seeing 2n square is there with the 2n. With the 2n minus 2n, that leaves you with 0. So this basically leaves you with 2n square times x. Comfortably understanding it? Now plus 4 is staying outside. Can I do something with this? I don't think so, because even if I try to do so, what I'll introduce here is 3, and if I put it or treat it like 6, so 6 n plus 1 comes out. So it will be 4 by 6 outside, n plus 1 outside. Then what will be left inside? I think inside it will be what? n plus 1 by 6 I am taken outside. So it will be 2n plus 1 minus n plus 1 by 6 I have taken outside. So it should be minus 3. And this 8n by 3 which was there on the right hand side is also taken on the left hand side. I hope you are understanding it comfortably, all the participants. Now from here what I do is I'll do some more simplification. Can we do so? With that, I hope first of all this 4 by 6 can be written as 2 by 3. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody with me on this? One more thing, 2n plus 1 minus 3. So can I write it as 2n minus 2? So I'm writing it as 2n minus 2. I hope you're comfortable with that. 2n minus 2. One more thing I'm willing to do. What is that? If I take 2 common, it will be n minus 1. So if I have taken 2 common, it will be n minus 1. And when that 2 comes out, this 2 becomes 4. Comfortably understanding that. And there you have minus 8n by 3. Minus 8n by 3. One thing I'll do first, I'll multiply this entire equation by 3. So when I do so, it becomes 3nx square. This becomes what? 6n square x. It becomes 6n square x. This 3 vanishes from here. This 3 vanishes from here. So this is minus 8n, right? So if I take minus 4n common, why am I doing so? Let me do that first, so that our equation looks more simpler. So if I take, I'm simplifying this particular part. So if I take minus or plus 4 in common, I'll be left with n plus 1 into n minus 1. That is what? N square minus 1. And what have I taken common? Sir, I have taken 4 in common. So that leaves you with minus 2. So it basically becomes n square minus 3. So this whole expression becomes 4n times n square minus 3. So far, whatever efforts we have made to simplify the quadratic. The quadratic which they have given in a very different form is simplifying to this. Now let's talk about this result which we discussed, that difference between the roots should be 2 because they are two consecutive even integers. Difference between the roots is given by root d by mod a. What is root d? So root d here, it is basically a question which is lengthy in terms of calculation. So here root d means what? Under root over b square. B square is what? 6n whole square, that is 36 n to the power 4 minus 4ac, minus 4ac. So minus 4 is there. A is what? 3n. So A is 3n. And what is C? So C is 4n times n square minus 3. I hope we are not making any mistake in terms of calculation. Divided by mod A. So mod A will be 3n. Sir, we get minus 2 and minus 4. Okay, we'll check that. But n is going to be a natural number. So mod I need not put over 3n. And that goes to the other right hand side. So we know that this is equal to 2. So this root d here will be equal to what? 2 times mod A. Comfortably getting it. So it should be 2 times mod A. Mod A is what? 3n. I hope no confusion on that. Even if you put a mod over here, all you can do is you can simply square both the sides. Now the best thing I'll do is, or I'll suggest is, instead of solving this equation, can you not do hit and trial? I hope here at this stage do the hit and trial, or if you wish you can simplify this. Both are perfectly acceptable approaches. Now here I'm leaving this question to you. We have gotten an equation which will be satisfied with one of the options and you will get the final answer. Everybody understood that? Can I move ahead from here? All the participants with me on this. Will you be able to solve this from here? Now let's solve the next question. A random variable x, it takes values, which values? 0, 1, 2, 3 with probabilities 2a plus 1 by 30, 8a minus 1, this. Okay. So random variable x, I hope you're understanding it. So 0 is associated with this, 1 is associated with that, 2 with 3. I hope you're seeing it very clearly. Sir, n common. Yes, you do all of that. I am not bothered or concerned by that. Now, at this stage, you know the simplification, so I'm not doing that. I hope you're okay with that. Yes, n square, that n square is taken outside n, and then gets cancelled by n because n is a natural number. Then you do the hit and trial. I hope you can do that. You all are intelligent enough to solve this simple, basic equation. You all are preparing for JEE. You all know how to solve that. Or shall I do it? If you want me to do it, I'll do it. Just write it in the comment box. I'll solve it further. But I'm hoping that it can be skipped at this stage because that conceptual part was supposed to be explained to you. Now coming back to the discussion here. What are we told? A and B are real numbers. Let mu and sigma respectively be the mean and standard deviation. Perfect. So this is mean. Pay attention to this part. This is mean and that's your standard deviation. Okay, perfect. Now, deviation of x says that sigma square is equals to mu square is equal to 2. Sigma square plus mu square. Can I say sigma square can be written as 2 minus mu square? But we know that variance, the square of standard deviation, should we leave in the exam? Yes, you should. But if you can, in the end, if you are still left with time, then you should try this question. This was a doable question, but in the second pass, you should go for this question. Here, if I get back to this, I hope you remember, for variance, we know the formula is always given by, I hope you remember, sigma x square by n minus sigma x by n whole square. I hope you remember that. One of the students used to say, Kala Kaddu, his name was, he is still there, but his name is, he used to say it like this, that sir, mean of the squares minus square of the mean. If you are paying attention to this expression which we are given over here, the variance is given by something minus square of the mean. So it is the square of the mean. So if this part is the square of the mean, because mu is mean, so this should be nothing but what? This should be mean of the squares. Did you get that part? So from here, all I'll say is that instead of using this entire expression, can I not simply treat this 2 as summation x square by n? I hope you're understanding it. But for this probability distribution, I hope you remember that it will be summation xi square pi. I hope you remember that. Any confusions on that? Now what is summation xi square pi? I hope you understand that. 0 square into this. So 0 square into anything will be 0 plus 1 square into that, this. So 1 square into this will be 8a minus 1 by 30 plus. Next 2 square into this. So 2 square is 4. So 4 into 4a plus 1 by 30 plus the next term which is 3 square, that is 9 into this, which is b. Everybody got that? Did you understand this? How did I take this 2 as this, or shall I re-explain this part? Everybody give me a quick response in the comment box. Everybody understood that? I hope you all did. Now with that, when I go further again with my conclusion, what are we told? Sum of all the probabilities should be 1. So if I'm getting one equation in a and b from here, I hope you can do the simplification. You all are good at that. One equation I'll get that sum of all the probabilities should be 1. So it should be 2a plus 1 by 30 plus 8a minus 1 by 30 plus 4a plus 1 by 30 plus b. This summation should be 1 because sum of all the probabilities is 1. Please re-explain. Nath, all I did was that here we know that variance is given by summation x square by n minus summation x by n whole square. So summation x by n is your mean. So variance square, sorry, standard deviation square, which is variance, plus mean square is this, which is given as 2. So this can be written as 2. I hope you remember that. So for probability distribution, summation x square by n is given by summation x square into p. I hope you got that. So this 2 is representing that, or shall I repeat this part? Everybody understood that, all the participants. Now from here, when I go and move ahead, I hope you are seeing that here, this is going to be 2. This value here is going to be 2. So one equation in a and b you can form from here. One equation in a and b you can form from here. 2 equations, 2 variables. Will you be able to do it? Sir, by n we didn't do. Deepak Bhardwaj, that we did with the statistics. There are number of observations. This is probability distribution. So with probability distribution, summation x square by n is given by summation x square I pi. If you ask me the mean will be given by summation xi pi. Did you understand the difference? In statistics, that's the formula. With probability distribution, this is the formula. So I'm trying to make you relate both of these. And with that, we are reaching to the conclusion. All the participants, did you understand that? Shall I move towards the next question? Yes. Yo, Dipendra sir, what's up? I'm asking you what's up. I hope you have understood it. We'll get 2 equations in a and b. Will you be able to solve that by yourself, or shall I do it? Can I skip that part? Now from here, when I go ahead, let's solve the next question for the day. What do we see in the next question? Here we are. Let this denote the GIF. This is denoting the GIF. Great, perfect. Now here, this is giving you GIF of k square by 3 to the power x. Perfect, brilliant, good to go. Now from here, what do I say? Then summation of this. Okay, we'll talk about that later. But whenever you see summation of something from 1 to infinity, can I not say, sir, 1 to infinity? In finite terms, sum is mostly done with GP. Mostly done with GP. So if it is mostly done with GP, I think the probability of the chances are that this f of x could be a GP. Okay, great. Now moving ahead with that, here, let me try to get rid of this expression. It looks terrible. It looks terrible. Sir, an expression like this, k square by 3 to the power x, then GIF, then summation, then 1 by n cube. Trust me, they have given it in a very simple manner. If you know the sandwich theorem, you know everything. You know everything related to this question. How? Pay attention to this. Here, we are given k square by 3 to the power x. We know that the number, any numbers, GIF, any numbers GIF is always less than equal to, it's the number which is what? K square by 3 to the power x and the number minus 1. I hope you remember that. I need not explain that part. We have discussed this particular part in our rank booster series as well. So I'm not currently following this live. Can I let me know whether 3-day series was discontinued? Yes, I probably doubt so, because we are now giving you this. Yes, I am reading the chats. This is a live. This is not a fake live. So here, when I go ahead with this, I hope you do remember this. On this we had a discussion earlier as well, so I can directly give you the conclusion. Now with this, when I try to introduce this, which part? The summation, because this is greater than this, less than this, so I can introduce summation. So summation if I introduce, so summation here and summation here. Now pay attention to this part. Summation where k is ranging from 1 to n. Summation where k is ranging from 1 to n. Summation where k is ranging from 1 to n. Now that's the only simple part which you can simplify. Very good, Sankesh. That's brilliant. Now from here, all I'll say is that 3 to the power x should be treated as a constant, because here the variable is k. The summation you're doing on k. And I hope you're understanding this one is there. So this is basically summation k square. We know summation k square is sum of squares of first n natural numbers. That is n plus 1 to n plus 1 by 6. So here it will be n plus 1, 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6 times what? 3 to the power x minus 1. So 1 when added n times is basically nothing but what? N. So that's your part. I hope you got that. Now this is less than this expression. We are okay with that. That expression I'm not writing time and again just to save our time. And here it is going to be again same with except for that minus 1 part. That is not there. So this whole part I'll be writing here. So this is going to be n plus 1, 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6. Everybody got that? Into 3 to the power x, because this 3 to the power x will also be there. Now let me introduce two more things. The limit and where n cube in the denominator. So if I divide all the three sides by n cube, dividing this by n cube, dividing this by n cube, dividing this by n cube, because n is a natural number, a positive number. So I can divide all the three sides by n cube, nothing wrong with that. So here n cube is introduced. Here also n cube will be introduced, and here also n cube is introduced, and the limit n approaches infinity is applied. Limit n approaches infinity is applied. So when this is applied, in between it becomes f of x, because that's exactly what we are doing. And here also I'm applying limit n approaches infinity. Somebody is asking, is 95 percentile enough for IT? No. Pernica, it depends on the category and a lot of parameters. Sir, please take a live class on inverse trigonometric functions. I think we have released a one shot on that. You can watch the one shot. That will definitely help you regarding that. Now here, the moment you see n is approaching infinity, cubic upon cubic. So the ratio of the highest degree terms, we have been discussing this short technique. So with that, the numerator, if I ask you, in the numerator, the highest degree term, so n into n square into 2n, that is 2n square. Why did you put n cube? Because I wanted to make like n cube. Because in the question, we are trying to make this expression like this only. So I'm putting n cube in the denominator and limit n approaches infinity on all the three sides. And when I do so, it becomes the middle term, middle expression becomes f of x. I hope you're getting it. So this is 2n square into n, that is 2n cube. So numerator n cube has coefficient 2, denominator n cube has coefficient 6 into 3 to the power x. So the ratio will be 2 by 6 into 3 to the power x. So here it will be 2 by 6 into 3 to the power x. Should be less than equal to, should be what? I think less than f of x should be less than equal to, again, the same thing will be happening here, which will be same result, which will be 2 by 6 into 3 to the power x. Now we are applying the squeeze theorem, the sandwich theorem. Yes. Yes, no, it will not be minus 1 by n square. I hope you're understanding it. I hope you're understanding it. I think I'm making a mistake here, because it should be minus n cube as well. And with that, minus 1 should also be there, right? Yes, you're correct. Yes, you're correct. Because this n I did not consider, or I forgot taking it. I think when that n cube 6 3 to the power x is brought there. Am I making any mistake here, students? Correct me if I'm wrong. This is infinity by infinity, this is infinity. Yes, so I should have multiplied it first. I'm sorry, I'm in the rush, making a mistake here. But even if I take the advantage, the benefit of doubt with the sandwich theorem, this will be the 2 by 6 into 3 to the power x. I hope that part will be there. If I am applying that sandwich theorem, the same result I'll be getting in the left hand side as well, because then we conclude f of x will be this. Or if you didn't get that, n to the power 4, where Deepak, I did not get this part. I'll simplify this, I'll retell you this part. There it will be n to the power 4 by n cube. And there I think there is a problem, because will it be n? Because summation k 1 to n will be 1. So this will be n. So this is n cube, this is n to the power 4 by n cube. So am I making any mistake here? Because k square by 3 to the power x should always be, its GF should always be less than the number. It should be greater than its minus 1. So when n is approaching infinity, this is giving you this minus n. Yes, sir, understood, you did correct. LCM I should take, yes, it becomes 0. Because I am making a mistake here. It is going to be a cubic, it will be quadratic by cubic. In that case, it will be approaching infinity. Am I making a mistake? Because here, let me do it again. Or shall I do it like this? Even in that case also, it will be same. Okay, let's do this part later. Let's not waste our time. We are given some, you did not divide n cube in n. Which part, students? Yes, thank you so much for highlighting that, Sankesh. Thank you so much. I repeat, if I'm dividing all the three sides by n cube, here also I'll be having n cube. Pay attention to that part. Pay attention to that part. So here it becomes 1 by n square. It becomes 1 by n square. And when n approaches infinity, it will be 1 by 0. Thank you so much for that, Sankesh. I just forgot this. When I divide all the three sides by n cube, they're also all divided by n cube. So that will become 1 by n square, and this becomes 0, because when n approaches infinity, 1 by infinity, that is 0. So I hope you're understanding it now very clearly, all the participants. Okay, so with that, yes, you will get mentorship as well. Don't worry about that, teamwork JEE. Now with that, I think I have got an f of x, because f of x is between this and this. So I think we have got an f of x. F of x is nothing but what? Sir, f of x is 2 by 6, that's 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 into 3 to the power x, that is 1 by 3 to the power x plus 1. So that's your f of x. So we have got an f of x. Now if we have got an f of x, I think all we need is 12 times this. So can I do that here? Can I do that here? I hope you're comfortable with that. If I do it here, so if I solve it further here, this is summation 12 times. This is what I'm solving. So this is 12 times summation of fj, where j is from what? 1 to infinity. So if I put 1, it will be 1 by 3 square. If I put 2, it will be 1 by 3 cube, and so on until infinity. So this is again nothing but what? An infinite GP. With this infinite GP, the first term is what? 1 by 3 square. I hope you can see it very clearly. So a upon 1 minus r, what is the common ratio? So the common ratio is 1 by 3. So I'll introduce a 1 by 3 here. Can you not simplify this, solve this, and get the final answer? Will you be able to do it from here only? I hope I can move ahead from here. Now, when you solve the next part, amazing, the easiest question, one of the easiest question of your paper. How do we solve this? Pay attention to this part. It says that the relation R on the set M, where M has 1 to 16 natural numbers, be given by x comma y, 4x is equals to 5x minus 3, where x and y both belong to the set M. Pay attention to this part. Then the minimum number of elements. Okay, let's solve that second part later, but let's focus on this. R is a set which is defined in this manner. So can I say that, sir, y will be given by 5x minus 3 whole divided by 4? And here x and y both belong to the set M, which means they should be the natural numbers from 1 to 16. So here if I take x, the certain values of x, let me figure out the elements which will be present in R. So I'll begin with this data. If I'm putting 1 here, I think 1 into 5, that is 5 minus 3, that is 2 by 4. That is not a natural number. If I put 2 here, 10 minus 3. 10 minus 3 is 7 by 4, not a natural number. If I put 3 here, 15 minus 3, 12. 15 minus 3 is 12, and 12 by 4 is 3. So 3 comma 3 will be there, because 3 comma 3 belong to M. Then if I put 4 here, 20 minus 3, not possible. Then I put 6 here. What did I put previously? 4, I think. What did I put previously? 3 was there, then 4 I put, that was 17, I think. Then after that 5. 5 means what? 25. 25 minus 3 is what? 22, not divisible. Then I try 6. 6 means what? 30. 30 minus 3 is again not divisible by 4. Then I try 7. 35. 35 minus 3. When I try 7, 35 minus 3 is 32, and 4 into 8 is 32. So it should be 7 comma 8, the next pair. Then after 7, let's try 8. So 8 into 5, 40. 40 minus 3 is again not fulfilling our or doing the job here. So I think we can see the pattern here. If I go ahead with this, what did I try? 8, 9 into 5, 45, no. Then after 9, 10 into 5, 50, no. 11 into 5, 55 minus 3. 55 minus 3 is how much? 52. 52 is divisible by 4. So I think 11 will again one more number which will do it, because 11 into 5, 55. 55 minus 3 is 52. 52 by 4, how much is that? 13, I think. So 13. Then after 11, when I go with 12, 60 minus 3, no. 13 into 5, 65. 65 minus 3, 62. 62 I think is not divisible by 4, because 60 is divisible by 4, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. Then after 12, 13 I have tried. I think what else? 14. 14 into 5, that should be what? 70. 70 minus 3 is not. 15 into 5, how much is that? 15 into 5 is 75. 75 minus 3, 72. And I think 72 is divisible by 4. Yes, it is. So if 72 is divisible by 4, what did I try? I think we tried 15, right? So the next number will be 15, right? With the 15, what am I getting? 15 into 5, 75. 75 minus 3, 72. 72 by 4, how much is that? 72 half is 36, 36 half is 18. But the problem is 15 comma 18. But remember this, I cannot have 18 because 18 is not there in the set R. So I'll stop here. I will stop here, because now I'm getting the largest or the higher values. Even with 16, it is not there. So these three elements will get in the set R. Everybody got that? Now, the problem here is, what are we told? the minimum number of elements required to be added in R, so that in order to make the relation symmetric. I hope you understand. Reflexive means what? All the domain elements should be repeated with the same image, but it is asking us to make it symmetric. Symmetric means A comma B, then B comma A, which means if 3 comma 3 is there, 3 comma 3 should be there, which is already there. So 7 comma 8, 8 comma 7 should be added. For 11 comma 13, 13 comma 11 should be there. So if these two elements are added, it will become symmetric. What are we asked? The minimum number of elements. Answer option B. Everybody got that? Can I move ahead from here? All the participants. One of the easiest questions of your paper. Now, f1 to infinity r be a differential function, differentiable function, where this is what we are given for all x greater than equal to 1. Okay, perfect with that. Now from here, what I do next is f2 minus f of 3. We'll do that later, but let me differentiate this. So I'll be using the Newton-Leibniz theorem for differentiation of definite integration. I hope you remember that. So 6 stays like that only. So I'll do x is passed to f of t, which is f of x, then derivative of x is 1, minus 1 is passed to this is f of 1, derivative of 1 is 0. So that I leave with this only, 3x dot f of x. Product rule I'll use, that's good Newton-Leibniz formula, 3 times. Derivative of x, which is 1, so f of x stays like that, plus x stays like that only. Derivative of f of x is f dash x. Can I write f dash x as dy by dx for a reason? Plus x cube becomes 3x square, 4 becomes 0. Everybody with me on this? I hope there is no confusion on that. One more thing we can do, this 3 and this 3 cancels this 6 and leaves you with what? A 2 here. So this f of x I'm substituting by y. So there I get 2y is equal to y plus x dy by dx plus x square. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody with me on this. In terms of calculation, if I have made any mistakes, do tell me. Can I move ahead from here? Now, what do we do next? I hope you can see it. What I do next is this 2y I bring here, x square I take on the other side. So here I have x dy by dx like that only. This 2y I bring on the right hand side, it becomes minus y. And there, what do we have? X square I take on the left hand side, so it becomes minus x. Correct me if I'm wrong. So x dy by dx minus y and is equal to minus x square. One thing I do, I divide both the sides. Indirect differential equation. Yes, Navina. So here I'll say linear differential equation, I'll call it. Indirectly, a question based on indirect kind of differential equation. Yes, it looks like a question of definite, but it is differential equation based question. So if I divide both the sides by x, I'll have dy by dx minus y by x is equal to x minus x. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? So with that, what I do here is, I think integrating factor. So integrating factor is going to be how much? I hope you can see it very clearly. Integrating factor will be e to the power integration of, I hope, dy by dx, p of x into y is equals to q of x. What is p of x? Minus 1 by x. So it should be minus 1 by x dx. So that should be e to the power minus ln x. I hope there is no confusion on that. X to the power minus 1, ln and e are nullified. So it will be x to the power minus 1, that is 1 by x. So that's your integrating factor. Now, when you write the solution, that is y into integrating factor, that is 1 by x. Sorry, yes, is equal to integration of q of x into integrating factor, so 1 by x into x, that is minus 1. So minus 1, of course, when integrated gives you x. So this should be minus x plus c. But there is a catch. If you think, sir, f2 minus f3, the c will get cancelled. No, because here when you simplify, you receive y as minus x square plus cx. So you got to find this c. Now, how do we find c? Can you help me in the chat box? Anyone, all the participants who are watching it live, can you help me? How do we find c? The only tricky thing here you need to do is replace x by 1 in this equation. When you do so, it is 6 times 1 to 1. So derivative from 1 to 1 will be 0. So it is 0 is equal to 3 1 f1. So that is 3 f of 1 plus 1 minus 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's 0. This is minus 3 goes to the other side 3. 3 by 3 is 1. So f of 1 we receive as 1, which means when x is 1, y is also 1. So I'll replace x and y, both y 1. So it will give me 1 is equal to minus 1 plus c. So that gives you c as 2. So once you have received 2 as c, y becomes what? Minus x square plus 2x. Now you have received y. So if you have received y, can you not find f2 and f of 3? When you replace x by 2, it will be f2. When you replace x by 3, it will be f of 3. So f2 minus f of 3, will you be able to do by yourself, or shall I do it? f2 is going to be what? It will be minus 4 plus what? 4. That's your f2. Minus f of 3. f of 3 will be what? Minus 3 square. That is 9, but minus minus plus minus 2 into 3, that is 6. So your answer should be, why am I getting the answer as 3, where it is telling you the answer to be 4? I think option D is the answer, and option D is 3. So yes, the answer will be 3. Everybody understood that? Can I move ahead from here, all the participants? Give me a quick update on this. Another very good, very interesting, a very beautiful question. How do we solve this one? Can you help me with this? A question which may make you go amazed, which may make you go crazy, but it is not as tough as it looks like. Yes. So it will not be 6x f1, where, which part, students? 6x f1. No, I am replacing x by 1. So 1 to 1, that integration will be 0, because from lower limit to upper limit, if they are same, the integration is 0. The area under the curve is 0. Now, moving ahead with this, the moment you see alpha is nothing but omega and beta is omega square. I hope we all know that. Nothing wrong with that. So here, I'll say the expression is 7 minus 7 omega plus 9 omega square whole raised to the power 20, plus this is 9 plus 7 omega minus 7 omega square whole raised to the power 20, right? Plus minus 7 minus 9 omega plus 7 omega square whole raised to the power 20. There is something wrong with the board. 7 omega square to the power 20. Then the last term, which is what? 14 plus 7 omega plus 7 omega square is 20. Now the problem here is, yes, brilliant, that's brilliant. Now the problem here is that a lot of students quit or give up. They don't look at it. Yes, Navina, thank you so much for highlighting that. One of the most interesting chapters of JEE Mathematics. Now here, if I start with this, all I'm saying is that they all become same if you just do some little bit of manipulations. What are those manipulations? See, I have a 7 here, right? I can have a 7 here as well. I can make a 7. Yes, what I'll do is I'll keep it intact. I'll not touch it at all. But here, if I take omega common from here, I'll keep it intact, which means I'll write it 7 minus 7 omega plus 9 omega square only. Nothing wrong with this, raised to the power 20. But if I take omega common from this, so omega to the power 20 will come outside. And inside, what will I have? I hope you're understanding. 7 omega, that will be what? 7 minus 7 omega square, that is minus 7 omega. I hope you're understanding it. I hope it is becoming like this. This can be written as 9 omega cube. When I take omega common, it becomes plus 9 omega square. I hope you're getting it, raised to the power 20. Plus, from this part, if I take omega square common, so if I'm taking omega square common, omega square to the power 20 is omega to the power 40 times what? Times, again, pay attention to this part, 7 omega square. So that leaves you with 7. I hope I can write it as this part as minus 7 omega cube. I hope you're understanding it. Yes, I'll use that in the end. Just wait and have patience, Sankesh. Good observation, by the way, again. And here, it is minus 7 omega cube. So omega square when taken outside, it is minus 7 omega. I hope you're understanding it. And this will clearly become 9 omega upon omega square. That is 9 by omega, which is again 9 omega square. So that I write as 9 omega square, whole raised to the power 20. Plus one more term is there. This 14, can I not write as 7 plus 7? So if I write this 14 as 7 plus 7, so this 7 I can take outside. So 7, when I take outside, forget this 7. 7 times 1 plus omega square, that we know is 0. So 7 into 0 is 0. So this leaves you with 7 to the power 20 here. Everybody with me on this? Now the last thing, which will simplify this question within seconds. What does it mean? This 7 minus 7 omega plus 9 omega square, 7 minus 7 omega plus 9 omega square, 7 minus 7 omega plus 9 omega square to the power 20 when I take common. So there, when I take 7 minus 7 omega plus 9 omega square whole raised to the power 20 outside, what am I left with? This leaves you with 1. This leaves you with omega to the power 20, and this leaves you with omega to the power 40. Plus this expression, which is 7 to the power 20. Do you remember we did discuss a very important conclusion? What was that, students? I hope you remember 1 plus omega to the power r plus omega to the power 2r plus omega to the power 2r gives you two results. That is either 3 or 0. When is it 3? Sir, whenever r is a multiple of 3, whenever r is a multiple of 3, it is 3. Or whenever r is not a multiple of 3, it is always 0. Do you remember that result? We did discuss it. So with that, I'll say 1 plus omega to the power 2r plus, sorry, 1 plus omega to the power r plus omega to the power 2r, where r is 20. So if r is 20, which is not a multiple of 3, the summation is 0. So this is 0 into anything 0. So 0 plus 7 to the power 20, our answer will be 7 to the power 20. So I hope with that you can simplify this. But we are given the values m to the power 10. So if m to the power 10 is compared with 7 to the power 20, I hope you would say, sir, 7 square is 49 to the power 10. So I think now you can compare, m is going to be 49. Everybody understood that? Brilliant. Very good observation. Now with that, when I try solving the next question, a very insightful, very interesting question, again a very amazing one. Can you help me with its solution? Let n be the number obtained on rolling a fair die. Okay. If the probability that the system has a unique solution. Forget about the probability of rolling a die and all. We'll talk about a question on probability later. But when somebody says that this system has a unique solution, what do we do? So as per Kramer's rule, delta should not be 0. So let's apply that. Let me find delta. Delta is given by what? Delta is given by, here the coefficient of x is 1, the coefficient of x is 1, the coefficient of x, there is no term in x, so it should be 0. The coefficient of y is minus n, the coefficient of y is n minus 2, I hope you are paying attention to that. The coefficient of y is n minus 1, I hope nothing wrong with that. The coefficient of z is 1 here, the coefficient of z is n plus 1 here, and the coefficient of z is 1 here. So this is going to be delta, and this should not be 0. Let me find delta first. Let me find delta first. So when I pay attention to that delta, what do I get or what do I see? I hope you are paying attention to this. Can I do one more simplification? Can I subtract this from this? So rho 1 minus rho 2 I'm doing. I hope you are understanding. Rho 1 minus rho 2 I'm doing in rho 1 or rho 2, let's say, for a while. So rho 1 remains intact, but this 1 minus 1 becomes 0. Minus n plus 2. So minus n plus 2 becomes what? Minus 2n plus 2. So I'll write it as minus 2n plus 2, comfortably understanding it. 1 minus n minus 1. So this 1 and 1 are cancelled and you're left with minus n. Now when you simplify this, I think simplification is easy. This into this, minus this into this. So minus 2n plus 2 into 1, that is minus 2n plus 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. Minus, so minus minus n is plus n times whole of n minus 1. This delta should not be 0. I hope you remember that. You do remember that discussion, right? So when I solve this, what do I get? N into n, that's n square. That is minus n into minus n minus 2n, that is minus 3n plus 2, right? Should not be 0. So this should be n square minus 2n minus n plus 2 should not be 0. So there n should not be 2n1. I hope you're understanding. N should not be 2n1. Now what was n? Now let's get back to that. Sir, n be the number obtained on rolling a fair die. So what could n be? Sir, when you throw a die, the possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 when a fair die is rolled. So probability. Now look at this question. From determinants, it is taking you towards probability. Very basic and decent question if you crack this particular part. The probability that the system of this has a unique solution. Sir, this will have a unique solution if n is not 1 or 2. So if n is not 1 or 2, what should n be? Sir, n should be either 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many favorable outcomes do we have? Sir, if n is either 3, 4 or 5 or 6, which means favorable outcomes are 4. And what are we told? Sir, the total possible outcomes, they are 6 when a dice is thrown. So the probability is 2 by 3. So there are 2 by 3 chances, 66% chances that this can have a unique solution. First of all, did you get that? So that is given by k by 6. That is given by k by 6. So k by 6 should be 4 by 6. So k is given by 4. So we have cracked k. So then the sum of k, which is 4, and all possible values of n. Possible values of n are what? 3, 4, 5 and 6. They are the acceptable values because n cannot take 1 and 2. So it can take other values. So I think you can get the answer because 6 plus 4 is 10. 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 4 is 12, so 12 plus 10 is I think 22. Am I making any mistake? 6 plus 4 is 10, 5 plus 3 is 8. I think 22, option D should be the answer. Why do you guys confuse me? Arpan, 20 and 24, I looked at your answer and I was so confident about you and I rechecked my calculation. Good, Sankesh. Shankar, Arpan, be more clear with the calculation. I hope you did not make any calculation based silly error. Please don't do that. From here, let's solve the next question. What does it say? Among the statements, if A is 5 comma minus 1, B is minus 2 comma 3 are two vertices of a triangle. Okay, so they are given as two vertices of a triangle, which students A is given as 5 comma minus 1 and B is given as minus 2 comma 3. Everybody listening and understanding. are two vertices of a triangle whose orthocenter is 0, 0. Okay, so its orthocenter is 0, 0, and we are told that its third vertex is minus 4, 7. So I'll do one thing. I'll take its third vertex as minus 4, minus 7, and I'll check whether its orthocenter can be 0, 0 or not. So orthocenter is what? Point of intersection of the altitude. So this is an altitude, this is an altitude, and if they're intersecting here, they should be 0, 0. Everybody getting that? So I'm calling it O, this is B, that's C, this I'm calling as D, and this I'm calling as E. Now one thing I can do is, if these are the altitudes, the product of the slope should be minus 1. I hope you remember that M1, M2 should be minus 1 if they are perpendicular lines. So with that, when I go ahead with this, what do I have? Let me find the slope of AD. I hope you know that. So the slope of AD will be what? The slope of AD. So it is 0, 0. So it will be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So it will be minus 1 upon 5. So the slope of AD will be minus 1 upon 5. Now let me find the slope of BC. So when I try to find the slope of BC will be again y2 minus y1. So 3 minus minus 7, that is 3 plus 7, that is 10, by minus 2 minus minus 4. So minus 2 plus 4, that is 2. So 10 by 2 is 5. And I think the product of these two slopes is turning out to be minus 1. Minus 1 by 5 into 5. So this is true, that AD is perpendicular on BC. But if I find this C also perpendicular on AB, my job will be done and I can conclude that 0, 0 is the orthocenter. Now with that, let me find the slope of OC. So slope of OC here will be given by what? Slope of OC will be given by, I think again 0, 0 is there. So y2 upon x2. So minus 7 upon minus 4, that is 7 upon 4. Now let me find the slope of AB. So slope of AB here will be given by y2 minus y1. So 3 minus minus 1, that is how much? 3 minus minus 1, that is how much? 4. 4 by minus 2 minus 5, that is minus 7. And again, if I multiply OC with AB, the slope of OC with slope of AB, I'll get minus 1. So again, this product is giving me minus 1. That means they are also perpendicular. So if this and this both are perpendicular, which are intersecting at 0, 0, that means this is definitely true, that with these vertices, they'll have their orthocenter at 0, 0. Did you understand that part? Everybody got this? So statement 1 is true. Now let's talk about statement 2. Let us now talk about statement 2. Give me a second, students. Now we'll be talking about statement 2. We now will be talking about statement 2. Hold on for a while, students. What are we told in this statement 2? Statement 2 says, if positive numbers 2a, b, c are 3 considered terms of an AP. So if they are 3 considered terms of an AP, so I know that double of middle term should be sum of the extreme 2 terms, which means 2b should be equal to 2a plus c. If I rearrange this, can I say 2a minus 2b plus c is equals to 0? Now I'm given a straight line. Which straight line, students? Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Now with this straight line in this equation, I see a complete similarity, that sir, if x and y are substituted by 2n minus 2, then this becomes this only. I repeat, I can say that 2 comma minus 2 satisfies this line. I repeat my fact, please listen to this part, that ax plus by plus c is getting satisfied by 2 comma minus 2, because we know this part factually, which means that this is representing family of lines. For half an hour more, I'll be continuing this session, then we'll be concluding it. I hope that's okay, Navina. We understand that you have had a huge long marathon session of chemistry as well, so I'll not be stretching it more than half an more hour. With that, we'll be doing plenty of questions. Don't worry about that. So just another matter of more 30 more minutes. Will that be okay? And then you can have a break. Now getting back to the discussion, ax plus by plus c, if for different values of a, b, c, it represents family of lines. But what is constant here? That for any value of a, b and c, whatever value of a, b and c you take, it always gives you that 2a minus 2b plus c is 0. Which means all those lines, all those infinite lines are passing through this point, which is 2 comma minus 2. So that family of lines is concurrent at 2 comma minus 2. So all the lines which are passing through a fixed point or concurrent, they'll be concurrent at 2 comma minus 2. How many of you did not understand statement 2? If you did, I think both are correct. Option D needs to be marked. How many of you were not able to digest statement 2? I'll re-explain that part. Otherwise, we can move ahead. Do write in the comment box if you did not get that. Let's talk about the next question for the day. What does it say? That the domain of the function. Domain-based questions are asked by IDG every year, and they now merged inverse and logarithm-based questions. So if I talk about this part, we all know that log of this should be greater than 0. So if log of this should be greater than 0, which means what? I hope you're understanding. If I write this to be greater than 0, the base is 3. So if I take NT log, this should be greater than 3 to the power 0, which is 1. I hope I can do it directly like this. Then when I take NT log here, again base is 5. So I can say 5 to the power 1. So 5 to the power 1 means what? It will be 5. The previous question in Ladrinath, I'll simply say this particular part here in a more clearer manner. All I'm saying is ax plus by plus c is going to be a straight line. But this is going to be a family of straight lines. Why? Because a, b, c are not fixed. They are random, arbitrary constants. So with different values of a, b and c, you will get different values, different equations. So you'll get different straight lines. But what is true for any value of a, b and c, it doesn't matter. 2a minus 2b plus c is 0, which means irrespective of the values of a, b and c, 2a minus 2b plus c is 0, which means all of those lines, those infinite lines, which will keep getting for different values of a, b and c, all of those lines are getting satisfied by 2 comma minus 2. I repeat, they are independent of a, b and c, and they are always passing through 2 comma minus 2. So there are infinite lines for different values of a, b and c, but all of them are passing through 2 comma minus 2 because we have this relation, which is a fact. And if it is a fact, 2 comma minus 2 satisfies this family of lines, which means all of these infinite lines are passing through 2 comma minus 2. That means they are concurrent at 2 comma minus 2. Everybody got that? Shall I explain that part? Getting back to the discussion now. What I'll do next is, if I take this 7 on the other side, it will be 5 minus 7. 5 minus 7 is minus 2. Now, this minus and that minus, if I do, I hope you remember, the sign changes. If I again take NT log, this log 2 is also removed and 2 to the power 2 is done. So 2 to the power 2 is 4. Everybody got that? So this is how you can quickly simplify this instead of wasting a lot of time and save a lot of time, because this log of log is not written, is not needed to be written. So I hope this is how you can save time. So with that you'll say x square minus 10x plus 85 is needed to be less than 4, which means it can be written as plus 81 should be less than 0. Everybody got that? So this is what will give you the domain of the first part. Are you all there? Now, we'll take the intersection of the domain of this and this, which I'll do later, but let me solve the first part here. So this should give me 9 into 9, that is 81. So I think what? I think what? Give me a quick update. I think 10 and 9, no. Am I writing it correctly? What should I write here? 81, right? 81 means what? 9 into 9. But that doesn't give you 10. Then what else can be taken here? Shall I use the split? Can you help me with splitting the middle term? What could be it? What should it be? Because I'm not able to think. The product should be 81 and the sum should be minus 10. 100 and 9. No. What am I saying here? Of course not. Can you help me with the split? Sir, we do also need that equation to be greater than 0. That will be, because if this is, sir, I can solve only 9 to 10 questions in JEE Maths because the remaining questions were too lengthy, which is taking 6 to 7. I got 97. What to do for this? DHJFHDH, if it is your name, listen to this. You're going absolutely right. Solving 9 to 10 questions in JEE accurately in maths section is expected. You can increase 1 or 2 more questions. That's only what you need to do. So in maths, 10 to 12 questions is always the best attempt. If you are thinking of increasing your percentile, now try to do better with physics and chemistry, because there you can attempt more. But in maths, you don't have any other choice. They deliberately keep only 10 to 12 questions in that doable category, in that limited time span, if you want to have that optimized results. So in mathematics section, we never recommend that you should attempt more than 12 questions. If you want to have a better percentile, go with physics and chemistry. Target those sections. There you can do a lot more with lesser time and with lesser efficiency. So you will be more optimized. Are you understanding that strategy? Now, getting back to the discussion we were having, am I making any mistake here? Because how do I split it? I'm not getting the middle term. What should I write it as? Because 9 into 9, I'll do it like this. 9 into, it is basically what? This is 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. So even if I do so, I don't think it will help us, because it will be 27 and then 3. No. So shall I use splitting the middle term? Great, great. So roots, I think I need to find. It is becoming imaginary. Are you sure about that? It is becoming imaginary. Where? Let me find discriminant. Let me recheck this part again. B square is what? 100 minus 4ac. So 4 into 81 is definitely greater than that. So if it is becoming imaginary, then there is some problem. Because with that, I think there is a problem. Because if it is imaginary, then it is always positive, but we want it to be negative. There is something wrong. Let me recheck this particular part, right, students? What did I do? I want this entire logarithm to be greater than 0. I hope you remember that. So if I take NT-log, what I'll say is that 3 to the power 0 will be 1, so it should be greater than 1. Then again I'll take NT-log, so 5 to the power 1 is again what? 5. Then I take this 7 on the other side, so it becomes 5 minus 7, that is what? Minus 2. So it is minus 2. So if I multiply both the sides by minus sign, so it will become, it is greater than minus 2, so it will be less than 2. Now if I take again NT-log, so it will be 2 to the power 2, which is 4. So this x square minus 10x plus 85 should be less than 4. Then x square minus 10x plus 81 should be less than 0. Are we making any mistake here? Because I think there is something wrong in that case if it is becoming negative. I think I may have taken the data incorrectly. In the typing, there could have been some error. Because here, we want this quadratic to be negative, but the discriminant is negative, which means quadratic will always be positive. So here I get phi as the domain. I hope you're understanding it. We get phi as the domain. Are you understanding it, all the parts? I guess the question, it will be 18x. Which part? This 10, Niladrinath? Have you checked it? So I'll get it checked because there is some typing error, I think, with this question. So that's why we are not able to do it. But I hope you have understood the approach. Maybe because of some data, we are not able to do it because it is getting, stuck. Don't worry about that. Let's solve this part as well. It is again sine minus 1. No, it's sine inverse. So typing errors are happening, you can see. So because of that, there could be some error. Now when you solve, I hope you have understood the approach. How do you solve this? So from there, by solving that, you will find a domain. And by solving this also, you'll find a domain, and then you'll take the intersection of both the domains. So if I wish to solve this part, we know that sine inverse is defined for all the values between minus 1 and 1. So this 3x minus 7 by 17 minus x, this should lie between minus 1 and 1. But since it is already a mod, this will be from 0 to 1. This will be from 0 to 1 only. I hope you are getting it very clearly without any confusion. Everybody with me on this? Cause sir, if it is fine, then answer could be answer C. I'll check it first by myself at home, and then I'll definitely discuss it tomorrow, because tomorrow also I'll have a marathon. In that session, I'll do this part. Don't worry about that. Right now, if I solve this particular part, modulus of a number is less than 1, which means that number will lie between minus 1 and 1. Or if you don't get that part, you can simply take or split modulus over division or multiplication. So it can be written as mod of 3x minus 7 separately, and mod of 17 minus x separately. And then since it is going to be non-negative, it is always going to be positive because it is modulus and it is in the denominator. So I can take it there on the right hand side. Are you understanding it? So I can write this question as 3x minus 7, modulus of it should be less than equal to modulus of 17 minus x. Now to get rid of it, both are non-negative. This is non-negative, this is greater than that. So both are, let's say, positive. So I can square both the sides. So when I square both the sides to get rid of mod, I hope you can solve it like this. This is one of the methods how you solve inequalities based on modulus. Everybody understood whatever I've done so far? All of you are with me. With that, I'll have 3x minus 7, which is what? 9x squared plus 49 minus what? 7 into 3 is 21. That is 42x. Should be less than equal to 17 square is, I think, 289. Correct me if I'm wrong. 17 square is 289, right? Plus x square minus 34x minus 34x. Right. Now, if I take everything on this side, so 9x square minus x square, how much will that be? So that will be 8x square. Then the term with x, so minus 42 plus 34. So 34 plus 6 is 40 plus 2, that is 8. So it should be minus 8x. Then 49 and 289. So 9 and 9, 280 and then 40. So 280 and 40, how much is that? 240. So it should be minus 240. It should be minus 240, and that should be less than equal to 0. Did you all understand that part? Can I move ahead from here? Now when I solve this further, what do I get? 8 can be taken common, so it leaves you with x square minus x minus 30 should be less than or equal to 0. So there you get x square minus 6x, I think we are going great, plus 5x minus 30 should be less than or equal to 0. So one of the factors will be x minus 6, the other factor will be, I think, x plus 5. Right? The one of the factors will be x minus 6, other factor will be x plus 5. So with that, I hope you are understanding. Minus 5 and 6, so x will be from minus 5 closed interval minus 5 to 6. But this part, okay, TRP. But here if I get back to this particular part was having some trouble because of maybe some numbers, which I'll check further by myself and then I'll get back to you. But if you go ahead with this data, the answer was 5 from here. So you need not check it further. The answer would have been 5. But the answer is not 5. It is some substantial value. There, I'm thinking that it could be some different. The data could be something different. That's why we are moving ahead with this. I hope everybody got that. Can I move ahead from here? I'll definitely discuss it in the next marathon with the correct data because there is something wrong with the numbers here. Now, let's solve the next question of the day. Again, one of the best questions of your discussion today. Again, one of the best questions. Trust me. This is also a very good question. Now, how do we solve this? Pay attention to this part. First of all, let me write this. This is given as Pn, right? Now, Pn is nothing but what? Can I write it as generalized version that summation R is from R I'll talk about later, but can I write it as minus 2 to the power R upon R plus 1 NCR? Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Why am I saying so? Because if I begin with R as 0, and I take it till n, so when R is taken as 0, it will be 1. It will be minus 2 to the power 0, so that is 1. And NC 0, so that's your first term. Then let's talk about the next term. When I take R as 1, so it is minus 2 to the power 1. This is 2. So NC1 minus 2 by 2, that is minus 1. So minus C1. So I hope you have realized this part that they have given us the rth term. They have written the nth term. So that could help us. That helped us in generalizing the rth term. And once you have gotten the rth term, I could write the summation. So we can write Pn like this. But sir, how does it help you? Have patience. This Pn can be simplified further into something else. Now there I'm using the simple version. Can I introduce n plus 1 in the numerator and denominator? When I do so, all I'm doing is NCR I'll keep written like this. N plus 1 I'm introducing here with this NCR, and of course n, this expression is independent of n because r is the variable here. So that denominator 1 n plus 1 I introduce here. I hope you're okay with that. And this all is nothing but Pn. Everybody with me on this? And I hope you do remember n plus 1 by r plus 1 times NCR is nothing but n plus 1 CR plus 1. Do you remember that result? Do you all remember that result? So if I could apply that result here, what will I get? N plus 1 R plus 1 NCR. So this entire part can be replaced by n plus 1 CR plus 1. Give me a quick update on this. Did you all get that? Did you all understand that? Now one more thing I'm willing to do. Why? You'll understand it very soon. If I multiply and divide it by minus 2, it can look like this. Because I'm multiplying it by minus 2 in the numerator, it will be minus 2 to the power r plus 1 and minus 2 in the denominator. So this minus 2 which is there in the denominator, I'm pulling it outside and I'm writing it here. I'm writing that minus 2 here outside. So I can write it like this. So minus stays there in the numerator, it is 2, and that's Pn. Everybody give me a quick update on whatever I've written so far. Did you all get that? Or even if I wish to write it like this, n plus 1 CR plus 1 is there. This is minus 2 to the power r plus 1 is there. Now, can you not relate it with something very important? Do you not know that this is something very crucial which you have studied? Why? Because I hope you can see something in it. Because I hope you're understanding. When I put r as 0, there is only one problem, that first term will be missing. We'll adjust that. But even if I miss that first term, what will I have? When you put r as 0, I'm just trying to make you see this expansion. How will it look like? Just look at its expansion, students. When r is 0, it will be n plus 1 C1 minus 2 to the power 1. Then when r is 1, it will be n plus 1 C2 minus 2 to the power 2. So I hope you're understanding. NCR x to the power r, NCR x to the power r. I hope you're understanding. NC1 x to the power 1 plus NC2 x to the power 2 plus NC3 x to the power 3. So the only thing which we are missing here is that, sir, if there could be n plus 1 C0 minus 2 to the power 0. If you could introduce that, I think it will be adjusted. So this is missing from there. So if this is missing from there, I need to add and subtract it. So if I'm adding it here, I think I need to subtract it as well, which is going to be, I hope you're understanding. This will last till the last term, which will be n plus 1 C, n plus 1. So last term will be n plus 1 C, n plus 1 minus 2 to the power n plus 1. So all the terms will be there except for the first term, which I have added deliberately here. So I got to subtract it, which is n plus 1 C 0. Everybody got that? And we know NC0 x to the NCR x to the power r, if it is expanded, it is 1 plus x to the power n. But n is not n, it is n plus 1, and x is not x, it is minus 2. So it will be 1 minus 2 to the power n plus 1. So this expansion, this entire expansion which you are dealing with, is nothing but 1 minus 2 to the power n plus 1 minus this. Give me a quick update on this. Did you all get that? That's good, students. So with that, when I remove all of this, when I get rid of all of this, what am I now left with? I think I am now left with, I hope you are paying attention to this, 1 minus 2, 1 minus x to the power n, but n is n plus 1, minus this term, because we have introduced it deliberately. So I need to adjust it, n plus 1 C0, that is 1. So 1 should be subtracted from here. Everybody got this? Everybody understood this? Or shall I re-explain this part? Give me a quick update on this. Are you all there? Listening, watching and understanding? Brilliant. Perfect. So with that, when I simplify this result, what do I now get? First of all, 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So instead of that, can I write it as minus 1 only? So it should be minus 1 to the power n plus 1, right? So that is what I have gotten. Now, one thing I could have done, but I'll do that later. But let me write P of 2n, because we now need P of 2n, right? So let me define P of 2n first. So P of 2n means what? Which formula, Shankesh? Which formula are you asking me to write? Are you asking me to write 1 plus x to the power n? So it is NC0 x to the power 0 plus NC1 x to the power 1 plus NC2 x to the power 2 and so on until NCn x to the power n. But in the previous question, the only thing which was there was if you put 1 as 1 but x as 2 and n as n plus 1. So I think you know that this is exactly what we needed here. And that was there in the previous question. Did you understand that, Sankesh, or shall I explain that part? So if I get back to the discussion we were having, this is P2n. Now pay attention to that part. P2n, right? P2n. So here all n's should be replaced by 2n. So this minus, or I simplify it first. Can I simplify this first? Let me simplify this first, right? So this minus, when I'm pushing inside, Pn will be 1 by 2 times n plus 1. Comfortable with that? And in the numerator, what will I have? Pay attention to this. Minus 1 to the power n. Then minus 1 to the power 1, that is minus 1. Minus 1 and minus 1 will be plus 1. And this minus 1 will again be plus 1. So did you get that? It will be our expression. But here, if I define P2n, it will be minus 1 to the power 2n. Minus 1 to the power e1 is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2 in the numerator. This is 2 in the denominator. N is replaced by 2n. So it is 2n plus 1. That is 2 by 2, which is getting cancelled. So it is 1 by 2n plus 1. Now, they're asking you summation of 1 by P2n. So 1 by P2n, which means reciprocal of this. So 1 by P of 2n will be 2n plus 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody got that? That's nothing but what? Odd numbers. So if I find that summation which we are asked, that summation will be what? When you replace n by 1, it is what? Can I write that summation directly? So if I apply that summation on this, so 2 times summation n plus summation of 1, where n is from 1 to 25, where n is from 1 to 25. So can you not do that by yourself? Again, n plus 1 by 2. So n will be 25. So it will be 25 into 25 plus 1, that is 26 by 2, and these 2 are cancelled. This is 1 added 25 times, so it is 25. So it will be 26 into 26. That's the square of 26. Can you not do that by yourself? I hope you can. Am I making any mistake? Am I making any mistake here? Am I making any mistake in terms of calculation here, students? Because it should be n plus 1 by 2. And it is 25. So 25 when, no, yes, it is correct, absolutely correct. So 25 when taken common, it is 26 plus 1, which is 27. So 27 into 25 could be either this or this. I think option D, you can mark. We are going great, nothing wrong here, absolutely fine. Can I move ahead from here? All the participants pay attention. Let's solve the next question here. Let the line y minus x is equal to 1 intersect the ellipse. So there is an ellipse, okay? Standard ellipse they have given, right? So with this standard ellipse, if you pay attention to this standard ellipse, there could be y-axis here, like this, and there could be x-axis here, like this. Let me just draw it first so that we are more accurate and correct with in terms of data. So this will be your x-axis. Paying attention, everyone, right? Now, x square by 2 plus y square by 1 is equals to 1. Standard ellipse. The line y minus x is equal to 1. With coordinate geometry, try to be more precise in terms of your shape, because that helps you in getting the answer more quickly. You can visualize better and you can think more quickly. Please have faith in that. I'll show it to you a lot many times with a lot of questions. Now when I try to draw this line, when I replace x by 0, we get y as 1. So one of the points will be 0, 1. And here, this is 0, 1. So I hope you're understanding. This is your point 0, 1. I hope you're understanding it without any confusion. And the other point, when I replace y by 0, we receive x as minus 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the next point will be minus 1, 0. So that point stays here. So that point stays here because it is, of course, root 2. Root 2 means what? This is 2, which is root 2 square. So this should be minus root 2. So this should be minus 1 somewhere here. So this is that line. This is that line. This is that line going to be. Now, what are we asked? That this line and the ellipse are intersecting at point A and B. Okay, I am making a mistake. I mean, I should have done something differently, but anyways, it's fine. Then the angle made by line segment AB. So let's say this point is A. This point is what we are still supposed to figure out. Then this AB is making what angle at the center of the ellipse. So this angle they are interested in. This angle they are asking us to find out. First of all, did you understand the question, all the participants? I think you can do it within seconds if you are simply approaching this with this intent that, sir, first of all, let's find this coordinates of B as well so that we get the idea. So what is y? Y is basically x plus 1. So that y I'll replace here. So it is x square by 2 plus x plus 1 whole square is equal to 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. So when this is simplified, it gives you what? X square by 2 plus x square plus 1 plus 2x is equal to 1, right? So this one and this one are cancelled. And then what do we get? If I multiply both the sides by 2, it will be x square plus 2x square plus 4x is equal to 0. With that, it leaves you with 3x square plus 4x to be 0. 1x I can take common and cancel because x0 is already we have found, that is the a. So with that, I'll be left with 3x plus 4, which gives you minus 4 by 3. So this B has x coordinate as minus 4 by 3. And if I put that minus 4 by 3 here, minus 4 by 3 plus 1, that is minus 4 minus 3, minus 4 plus 3, that is minus 1 by 3. And that is what we are supposed to get in the third quadrant only anyways. So this is your point B. Now, how do I find this angle? This angle is what they are interested in. So if they are asking you to figure out this angle, that's where, sir, my humble request, can you please make a short video on remembering important formula for ellipse and hyperbola for quick revision? Ladrinath, just I'll forget this. So do one thing in the comment of this video, not in the live chat, in the comment of this video, just put this comment there. I will take it as a reminder and I'll definitely make a short on it. All the important formula of ellipse and hyperbola. I understand it is very confusing. So I'll write all the formulae and I'll do the comparison and I'll share the trick as well through which I personally remember them. Even at this stage also, I tend to forget sometimes. So that is perfectly fine. You will be taught some techniques and I'll share a video on that. Don't worry about that. Just share that comment in the comment of this video, not in the live chat. Just copy this and put it there in the comment. Now, if I get back to this, I was strongly emphasizing and mentioning that if you do the right, if you draw the more appropriately there, the chances are higher that you could think the answer more quickly. Why am I saying so? Because here, this angle will be pi by 2. So all I need to find is this angle. Everybody getting that? So if I'm willing to find out this angle, let me do it with some other method. If I extend this line BO, and if I find this theta, I think that same theta will be this. vertically opposite angles. So if I could find this theta, what will this theta be? So this theta is nothing but the tan theta I can find, slope of the line OB. So if I wish to define tan theta will be what? Y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So minus 1 by 3, minus 0 upon minus 4 by 3 minus 0. So 3 and 3 are cancelled. Minus 1 by minus 4, that is 1 by 4. So there we receive theta is what? Tan inverse 1 by 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. We are still measuring it in the anti-clockwise direction. So 90 plus theta. Theta is a positive quantity. So 90 plus tan inverse 1 by 4, option B will be the answer. Did you understand it? Without doing much, without thinking much, we did it simply with some basic visualization. So you may say or ask that, sir, visualization took a lot of time, drawing it accurately took a lot of time, but that time was not the time wasted, but it was time which you invested, because when you draw it more accurately and appropriately, you are able to work it out very quickly. So you'll be more optimized with your approach if you are thinking it like this. Everybody understood that? Shall I move ahead with the next question, students? Okay, so there we are with the final question for the day. Or if you want me to continue, we can continue. So here, f of x is given by this, and we are told that it is continuous at x is equal to minus 3 by 2. We'll talk about that later. But I'm told that x is not defined at these two values. X is not taken as these two values for this expression. When x is taken these two values, it is b. Okay. And I'm told it is continuous. So if it is continuous, that means, I hope you understand, LHL, RHL, and the values of the function should be same. So here, before applying LHL and RHL, can I talk about this denominator, which looks more something like, which can be simplified. So this 4x square plus 4x minus 3. So 4 into 3 is 12. 6 into 2 is also 12. So can I write it as 4x square plus 6x minus 2x minus 3, from which if I take 2x common from here, if I'm taking 2x common from here, it leaves me with x plus, what did I do? I have taken 2x common, right? So if I take 2x common, I'll be left with 2x plus 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then if I have taken 2x common, then I'll take minus 1 here. So it will be 2x minus 1. So this is how you factorize the denominator. Now, why did I do it? I did the factorization with the denominator with the deliberate intent, because I could see that this is not defined at minus 3 by 2 and 1 by 2. The reason is pretty clear. I hope you have understood it. So this question now looks like ax square plus 2ax plus 3 divided by this, which I'm writing as 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 1. Everybody getting that? Sir, when will the session probably end? Sonia, Jiva, 3 more minutes, or maybe this final question. This is the final question. With this, we'll end it. Will that be okay? Why are you asking it to be? Okay, leave it. So here, if I say limit x approaches what? X approaches minus 3 by 2 is applied here. So it should be reaching b, because at minus 3 by 2 it is b. Everybody got that? So here it is a 0 by 0 form. I hope you're understanding it. It is a 0 by 0 form, because when minus 3 by 2 is put here, it is 0. But it is giving me something finite. So it should be a 0 by 0 form. So when x is approaching minus 3 by 2, it should be approaching 0. So when I replace x by minus 3 by 2 in the numerator, it should be approaching 0. So here, this a into minus 3 by 2 whole square plus 2 into a into minus 3 by 2 plus 3, this should be 0. Everybody got this? Everybody understood this? I repeat, a into minus 3 by 2 whole square plus 2a into minus 3 by 2 plus 3 should be 0. Why? Because we want it to be 0 by 0 form, because this is 0 at x is equals to minus 3 by 2. So with that, I think when you solve this, you will get the value of a, because what it would be? It will be 9a by 4 plus what? Minus 3a plus 3 should be 0. When I multiply both these sides by 4, 9a minus 12a plus 12 is equal to 0. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think 12 minus 9 is how much? Minus 3a. Minus 3 goes to the other side, so 3 is equals to 12. So we receive a as 4. So finally we have worked out a. So we have gotten the value of a. Everybody with me on this? Now if I have cracked a, I think I have cracked the expression as well. Because when a is cracked, it is 4. I think I'll write that 4 here. So it is 4x square. It is 4 into 2, 8x. This is 8x plus 3. So now I'm trying to factorize the numerator as well. So when I try to factorize the numerator, can I do that here only? I hope that's okay. So when I try to factorize the numerator, it is 4x square plus 8x plus 3. 4x square plus 8x plus 3, right? So 4 into 3 is 12. 4 into 3 is 12. 6 into 2 is also 12. So I am writing it as 4x square plus 6x plus 2x plus 3. Everybody with me on this? 2x, if I'm taking common from there, it will leave me with 2x plus 3. And if I'm taking 2x common from there, I'll be taking 1 common from here. So the numerator can be simply written as 2x plus 3 times what? 2x plus 1. Everybody getting that? So this 2x plus 3 and 2x plus 3 are cancelled. And this is what you receive as your function. 2x plus 1 upon 2x minus 1. Everybody getting that? Everybody getting that? What are we asked? What are we asked? I think we are not asked the value of b. We are not even interested in that. We can find it out by putting x by minus 3 by 2. We'll get the value of b. But we are not interested in b. What are we interested in? Sir, first of all, we have cracked f of x. This is nothing but your f of x. Pay attention to this. This is your f of x. So if this is f of x, can you not find f of x? I hope you are clearly seeing f of x. It will be a little tricky in terms of calculation, but it is still doable. So it will be 2 times whole of 2x plus 1 upon 2x minus 1 plus 1 divided by 2 times 2x plus 1 upon 2x minus 1 minus 1. Correct me if I'm wrong in terms of calculation. So now this needs to be simplified. That is f of x, right? This when simplified gives you what? 2 into 2x plus 1. That is 4x plus 2 plus 2x minus 1. So that is plus 2x minus 1 whole divided by 2 into 2x plus 1. That is again what? 4x plus 2 minus 2x plus 1, because 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1 are cancelled. So what am I getting? 4x plus 2x, that is how much? That is 6x. 2 minus 1, that is plus 1 divided by 4x minus 2x, that is 2x. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Now this is your f of x. But this value we are told to be given as 7 by 5. All the students who are watching it right now, tell me, do you want it to be continued or ended? Because I have plenty of questions. But yes, I understand you had a session on chemistry. It started at 5. Now it is already 9:30. You are still watching it continuously. We are really humbly obliged that you are so, consistently and with a focused manner you're watching it. That's very good. That's the spirit. But if you tell me that you are tired, we can continue this. We'll do the next session tomorrow, because there is another marathon tomorrow as well of the same duration. So I'll do the remaining questions tomorrow. Don't worry about that. So it's simply not a matter of number of questions. It's more importantly a matter of quality of questions. Are you getting them? Are you understanding them? If you're not, then we can simply skip that. And don't worry, we'll do that tomorrow. So this we are given as 7 by 5. I hope you know how to solve that. So when you are willing to solve that, 6x plus 1 getting multiplied by 5, that is what? 30x plus 5, correct me if I'm wrong. 2x plus 3 multiplied by 7. So 7 into 2 is what? 14x. And 7 into 3 is 21. So when you simplify this, 30 minus 14, I think 16x. And 5, 21, that is again 16. So 16x is equals to 16. That leaves you with x as 1. Your answer, the value of x is what you were asked. It should be 1. Everybody understood that? Can we move ahead from here? All the participants? Yes, okay, Shankesh and Niladrinath, I totally understand your intent, but some of the students were asking it to be ended. Let me see few more questions. Shall we do few more questions? Let me see how many questions am I left with. Just hold on for a while. Hold on for a while. Why is it hanging? System is also saying that I should stop. But let me see whether do we have the scope of continuing or not. So we do have scope of some more questions. If you tell me we can continue further, at least 3 to 4 questions more I wish to discuss. If you're okay with that, can we? And if you want, we can have a 5 minutes break, then we'll resume. So let me just have some water. We are taking a 2 to 3 minutes break, then we'll resume. Will that be okay? Just 2 to 3 minutes break. Let me just have some water, then we'll resume. By the time you can try this question, don't Google it. Do it by yourself. Let's see how many of you get this. Do write its answer in the chat box quickly. Give me a quick update, students. Can you all hear me? Am I audible? Am I visible, everyone? Just give me a quick update. The break is over. We'll resume with some more questions. Let's try and do as many as we can. Otherwise, we'll end this. So as we are told is something like this. Complex numbers. Again, something really interesting. And instead of complex numbers, this is what we are asked, minimum of this. We'll talk about that later. But let me simplify this. If I take 2 common from this, I'll have 3 by 2 here. Because 2 when taken common, mod of 2 is 2. So we need not bother about that. Should be less than equal to modulus of z minus 3 by 2 1 plus iota should be less than equal to 7 by 2. Can I write it like this? Now when I write it like this, I hope you can see it very clearly. Z minus z naught is equal to r. That's a circle. So I hope you are understanding. Circle having radius 3 by 2. Outer of it, circle having radius 7 by 2. Interior of it, because less than equal to greater than equal to. And same center 3 by 2 comma 3 by 2. Are you understanding it? Are you understanding it? I hope you remember it, that z minus z naught is equal to r represents a circle where the center of the circle is z naught and the radius is r. But it is not equal, it is given as less than and greater than. So greater than means outer of that circle, less than means interior of that circle. So here if I could simply try and make you visualize it, there you are dealing with 2 circles. There you're dealing with 2 circles, and those 2 circles are concentric circles. Those 2 circles are concentric circles, and there with these concentric circles, all you need to understand is that the circles are having center 3 by 2 comma 3 by 2. That's your center, which is 3 by 2 comma 3 by 2. The inner circle is having the radius 3 by 2, so that's the radius, which is 3 by 2, and the outer circle is having the radius 7 by 2, which I'm writing here. The outer circle is having the radius 7 by 2. So the region which is out of the inner circle, the region which is inside the outer circle, so this annulus is what they are interested in. This region they're interested in. So that is where your Z lies. Everybody got that? Can I move ahead from here? Now what they say next is, then minimum of this. Minimum of this. Minimum of this does not mean that Z minus 1 by 2, 5 plus 3 iota. Now what does it mean? Does it not mean that distance of z, what is z? This shaded region, green region. The distance of z from this point, which is minus 5 by 2, minus 3 by 2. So we know the distance. We need not find whether it lies inside the circle, outside the circle. All I need is, if I want it to be having the minimum distance, I hope you are realizing it very clearly, that first of all, I need to find this minus 5 by 2, minus 3 by 2, I hope you are understanding it very clearly, that it's distance from the center of the circle. I hope you are understanding it. And then, let's say this point lies anywhere. I'm not saying that it lies in the circle, on the circle, here, wherever it lies. All I'm saying is that here, let's say if it lies outside. By the way, it is minus 5 by 2, minus 3 by 2, right? If I wish to locate it more properly, I can. Let me just do that so that you are more clear with what I'm asking you to do is, let's say here, pay attention to this part. Let me just be more specific and more clear. This is where, this is not the x-axis and y-axis, they are the lines passing through the center of the circle parallel to the x-axis and y-axis. Pay attention to this part. So here, center of the circle was 3 by 2 comma 3 by 2. So this point is 3 by 2 comma 3 by 2. I'm deliberately writing it like this so that you can visualize it better. Now, the interior circle is having the radius 3 by 2. I hope you're understanding it. So 3 by 2 minus 3 by 2, this will be 0. This will be 0. So this will be 0 comma 3 by 2, and this will be 3 by 2 comma 0. So this line and this line where they intersect here, you will be having the origin. This is going to be the point where you will be having the origin. So if I simply draw a line here passing through this, pay attention to this, parallel to this here, and another line passing through this, let me just do it, parallel to this. This is going to be the origin. Pay attention to this part. This is going to be the origin. Now, why did I draw this origin? To make you understand this scenario clearly, that now if I want to talk about minus 5 by 2, minus 3 by 2, that is definitely going to be the third quadrant and somewhere here, so that you get more idea, more clearer idea. So it is minus 5 by 2, comma, minus 3 by 2. But it was not needed, but still if you were confused, this is how you find it. Now, what are we asked? Sir, we are asked the minimum value of it. So the minimum distance of this from this annulus, where annulus is what? This region, I hope you're understanding. This entire region is your Z. I hope you're remembering that. No confusion on that. So from here, if I'm interested in the minimum distance, will you not say, sir, this should be joined, this line should be joined with the center of the circle. This point should be joined with the center of the circle. And then this distance should be subtracted. That will be the minimum distance. Did you get that? So if this point is, let's say, P, this is center of the circle C, and if this is A, so PA will be the minimum distance. So my answer will be PA, but I don't want to find PA. How do I find PA? I'll say PC minus AC. What is PC? PC I can find minus AC. What is AC? The distance of the outer circle. Outer circle is having, sorry, distance means radius. Radius of the outer circle, that is 7 by 2. So from PC, I'll subtract 7 by 2. What is PC? Distance between this and this, I hope, means a circle just touching the bigger circle. No, Niladrinath. Means two concentric circles where the first circle is having radius, inner circle is having radius 3 by 2, outer circle is having radius 7 by 2. But if they ask you the minimum distance of this point from this region, then I'll say if I join this point with the center of the circle, so along with this line, I get the minimum and maximum distance. So this PA will be the minimum distance, and if this is extended further, this PB will be the maximum distance. Do you get that part? If I get back to the discussion we were having, we are interested in PA. Had they given you max here, in that case, I would have been finding PB. And PB means what? PB is equals to PC plus 7 by 2. That's the only difference which I would have brought. And that's why I was suggesting that you need not draw this entire figure. That remains same, that formula. For minimum, PC minus 7 by 2. For maximum, PC plus 7 by 2. Always do this without even thinking. You'll get the final answer. So from here, when I go ahead, what I do is, I think PC distance formula you can use. Shall I do it? Distance formula between P and C you can use, and with that 7 by 2 is needed to be subtracted, which you can do by yourself. Can I skip that calculation? You will do that by yourself and get the final answer. This is one of the interesting questions from Trigo. The value of this, please pay attention to this. For a while, this 15 theta by 2 I'm taking as A, 8 theta I'm taking as B. So this 8 theta is B, this I'm writing as A, this is B, and this is B. I'm deliberately doing it. So with this is sin A cos B. Thank you so much, Deepak Bharadwaj. This is sin A cos B. And here I am having cos A sin B, but with minus. So sin A cos B, and Niladrinath is saying, no, I am saying that if we have to draw a circle with that center, then it had to be a circle with radius equal to PA, means it just touches this. Maybe. I'm not reading it properly. I'm more focused on this question, but yes, you could be right. Now getting back to the discussion, it is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. I hope you can see this. So sin A cos B minus cos A sin B, that is sin A minus B. So that is sin A minus B. Sin A minus B means what? Sin 15 theta by 2 minus 8 theta. Did you get that? Then pay attention to this. Sin A sin B plus cos A cos B. So cos A cos B plus sin A sin B is cos A minus B. I hope you remember that. So cos A minus B. Sorry. Am I making any mistake? No, I think we are going great. I repeat. What was that? Sin A sin B plus cos A cos B. Yes, it is plus. So it is cos A minus B. Cos A minus B is again cos 15 theta by 2 minus 8 theta. Since cos is an even function, you can do the vice versa as well. That's a brilliant observation. So that entire expression, which looked terribly confusing, becomes so simplified. Did you see that? Did you notice that? So with that conclusion in mind, when I proceed ahead, what do I have? I think 16. So 15 minus 16, that's theta by 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. 15 minus 16, that's theta. So it is sine minus theta by 2. So it is minus sine theta by 2. It is again cos minus theta by 2, but with cos minus x, it is cos x, even function. So it should be cos theta by 2. So can I write that as cos theta by 2? So can you believe that? In JEE, they confuse you with these kind of complicated expressions, which are simply nothing but these kind of simpler expressions. So it's a matter of simplifying. If you could notice that pattern, you could crack it within seconds. Now, if I get back to the discussion, this is what I need to figure out. Let's say this value is t for a while. If I square both these sides, cos square theta by 2 plus sin square theta by 2 is 1, minus 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2 is 2 sin theta, that is equal to t square. Mind you, we are now getting we are squaring both these sides, so root gain is happening. So I should be very much aware of the sign. sign scheme we need to be aware of, right? Because they are giving you both the options with positive sign and negative sign. I hope you can see that. So I need to be very careful with the sign. I hope you're getting my words very clearly. So with that, what I do next is, I think we have cot theta. So if I define cot theta, that is base upon perpendicular, numerical value I'm talking right now. We'll talk about that later. The sign scheme will follow later. I'm just talking about the value. So cot theta, we are given as 1 by 2 root 2 in terms of magnitude only. So base is, if this is theta, the base is going to be 1 and the perpendicular is going to be 2 root 2. So 2 root 2 square is what? 8. 8 minus 1 is what? 7. So hypotenuse should be root 7. So with that, sin theta will be what? Sin theta will be, correct me if I'm wrong, perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So this should be 2 root 2 by root 7. So 1 minus 2 into 2 root 2 by 7. What am I doing? It should be 2 root 2 by root 7. Let me just recheck it because I'm thinking cot is what? Base upon perpendicular. So 1, 2 root 2, 2 root. I'm really sorry. Why am I making such silly errors? Pythagoras I'm not applying properly. So here it should be 8 plus 1, that's 9. So it should be 3. Shall I? Yes, 8 plus 1. Thank you so much for correcting that, Deepak. So here it should be 3. So with that, sin theta will be what? Sin theta will be 2 root 2 by 3. So it should be 1 minus 2 into 2 root 2 into 2 root 2, that is 4 root 2 by 3. That's the value of t square. Are you all there? Paying attention to this, all the participants. Now, when you try and simplify this, what is it? 3 minus 4 root 2 by 3. So 3 minus 4 root 2 by 3. Am I writing it correctly? 1 minus 2 sin theta. Sin theta will be 2 root 2 by 3. So 4 root 2 by 3. So 3 minus 4 root 2 by 3. Comfortably understanding this part, everyone? I hope nothing wrong with that. But this here is the value of t square. We don't need t square, sir. We needed t. We needed t. So now if I need t, it will be plus minus. But it should not be plus minus. It should be either plus or minus. So what should it be? Let's work that out. T was cos theta by 2 minus sin theta by 2. What was theta? So theta was from pi by 2 to pi. So theta by 2 will be from pi by 4 to pi by 2. I hope you remember that. And if I try and ask you the graphs of sine and cos, this is the graph of sine and this is the graph of cos. I hope you remember that. So from pi by 4 to pi by 2, I can see sin x is greater and cos x is lesser, which means lesser minus greater, which means t should be negative. So when you take this square root, you get two values. You get two values, one positive and one negative. Which will you take? I'll take the negative value. Did you get that part? So answer will be C. T square means square of either this or this. Because all the four options are same, this and this are same, this and this are same, except for that positive negative sign. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Sin is greater, cos is lesser. So lesser minus greater is negative. So t should be negative. So now all I need to check is that between option 1 and 3, which one is negative? Did you get my point? So again, I'll say root 2 minus 1 is positive. So I'll say 1 minus root 2. That's your answer. Because root 2 by root 3 when squared does not give you this. So it will be possibly this, because see, root 3 square will be this 3. So I need not take the square root. I can go ahead with the options. So it could be either option A or C. But I want it to be negative. T should be negative. So negative is given by this because 1 minus root 2 is negative. So option A will be the final answer. Everybody got that? Can I move ahead with the next question? I hope everybody understood it. How did we solve it? Half of the part with our approach and the rest of the part without even solving it further with our intuition, with the help from the options. And that's exactly what you do in the real examination hall as well. Let PQ be a chord of hyperbola, okay, perpendicular to the x-axis such that OPQ is an equilateral triangle, O being the center of the hyperbola, if the eccentricity of the hyperbola is root 3. I hope you remember, for hyperbola, eccentricity is given by 1 plus b square by a square. Standard hyperbola it is. I hope you're understanding it. And for hyperbola, eccentricity is greater than 1, so it is plus. That's how I remember it. Who was it? I think Niladrinath. For ellipse, the eccentricity is less than 1, so I'll put a minus here. Otherwise, all the formulae are same. All the formulae are same. That's the only difference. So you remember formulae for ellipse? Eventually, you develop the formula for hyperbola. That's the same formula there. Length of latus rectum, foci, directrices, everything is same. AE, A by E, 2b square by, everything is same. Please remember that. So when I go ahead with this conclusion in mind, what are we given here in this question? Okay, so what are we given? The hyperbola is having eccentricity root 3. So root 3 means what? 3 square, that is 3. Should be equal to 1 plus b square by a square. What is b square? So b square is b square. So that is b square by a square. A square is 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. So here, I hope there is nothing wrong with that. Whatever we have done so far, 1 plus b square by a square. So 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. So b square we receive as 8. So I'll keep it with me. B square we have received as 8. Right, now let's talk about this hyperbola. So this b square is going to be 8. Pay attention to this part. Right, now when this hyperbola, in this hyperbola, PQ be a chord of this hyperbola perpendicular to the x-axis, okay, such that OPQ is an equilateral triangle. So here, let's say this is the hyperbola where O is the center of the hyperbola and OPQ, PQ is perpendicular to the x-axis. So let's say this is your PQ. Of course, it is not drawn very properly, but I hope you're comfortable with that. This is your PQ and that is perpendicular to the x-axis, which means this is a 90-degree angle. Everybody getting that? This is your 0, 0. Now, if I wish to define a point parametrically here, we know A sec theta, B tan theta. So A is what? 2. So 2 sec theta, comma, B tan theta. B is 2 root 2. So it is 2 root 2 tan theta. Give me a quick update on this. Everybody got this? Everybody understood this? All the participants so far. Now that's your O, P, and that is Q, right? Then, I hope you know that we are told this is an equilateral triangle, which means this entire angle will be 60, symmetrically placed, which means this will be 30. So y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, which means 2 root 2 tan theta upon 2 sec theta should be the slope, which is tan 30. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. So with that, what do I get? This 2 and 2 are cancelled. Root 3 goes there. Tan theta is sin theta upon cos theta. 1 upon cos theta, cos theta, cos theta are cancelled. So that is sin theta. So sin theta we receive as 1 by root 6. So I have gotten sin theta as 1 by root 6. Now what is the advantage of this? We'll talk about that later. But now what are we asked? The area of the triangle OPQ. So area of the triangle OPQ means what? Half base into height. So this could be base and this could be height. I hope you are understanding it. So area of the triangle can I write here? So area of the triangle will be half base. What is base? Sir, base is this. I hope you are understanding. So 2 root 2 tan theta here, 2 root 2 tan theta here. So it should be 4 root 2 tan theta. That's your base into height. So this is your height. Height is 2 sec theta. So this should be 2 sec theta. Everybody with me on this? Everybody. So tan theta is sin theta upon cos theta. That is 1 upon cos theta. So it should be sin theta upon cos square theta. Or you can write it like this only. Tan theta upon cos theta. And here this 2 and this 2 are cancelled. So I'm left with 4 root 2 tan theta by cos theta. So we know sin theta is 1 by root 6. So if this is theta, this is 1, this is root 6. So Pythagoras I'll apply. What will you have? Custard or shake? Let's study here. I'll have a smoothie. 6 minus 1. Don't embarrass me in front of the students, Akanksha. 6 minus 1 is 5. So this should be root 5. This should be root 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. I got lost. How we got sin theta? Come on, Deepak. It is root 2. Root 2 goes there. It becomes root 6. 1 by root 6. Tan theta is what? Sin theta upon cos theta. 1 upon cos theta. Cos theta, cos theta are cancelled. You're left with sin theta. So sin theta is 1 by root 6. Got that? So this is theta 1 by root 6. So 6 minus 1, that is 5. So root 5 it should be. I think we have gotten all the values, because now what it should be? 4 root 2 tan theta. Tan theta is what? 1 by root 5. So tan theta is 1 by root 5 divided by cos theta. Cos theta is root 5 by root 6. Root 5 by root 6. Can you simplify this and mark the correct answer? Which is definitely not a tough task. Everybody understood that. Can we call it a day here? I know that you all are very much tired. You had a marathon from 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock. So I hope number of questions don't matter at this stage. What matters right now is that the kind of questions you're doing are the quality questions and you're learning a lot with them. So I think we are done with this session. Let us meet in the next marathon. Tomorrow we'll do the same sort of questions, which are the most expected or the predicted questions for your April attempt. Second, you are doing the good revision with that. So can we call it a day here, students? I hope you have learnt a lot. This must have been a fruitful session for you. So did you all enjoy and learn? If you love maths, you must have enjoyed, and learning is always there with these good sessions. I believe so. So can we call it a day? Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. We'll do that bridge course. Don't worry about that. Ready for the April attempt? Yes, we are there for you. All the assistance is there. We'll bring the analysis as well. Don't worry. So all the analysis will take place. Sir, you mentioned bridge course, sir, will be logarithm. Yes, yes, everything will be there. Whatever is needed for the bridge course, whatever is needed, those who are moving from 11th to 12th, everything is there. I think it will be having basic essentials of mathematics, logarithm, sequence and series. And I imparted one more chapter. I am forgetting its name. Quadratic expressions. Okay, Ekaf, Mishal, can we call it a day? Thank you so much, Dubey. Thank you so much, Deepak. Good to have you all. Good to have you, Shankesh. Thank you so much for correcting that N-cube mistake. Thank you so much. Okay, Niladrinath. So keep interacting, keep participating, and stay active like this. This is what we appreciate. And that's how you stay, attentive and cautious and alert. So let's call it a day. Thank you so much. You have been a great audience. Take a good care of yourself, students. Good day, everyone. Good night. Take a good care of yourself.